You are listening to the Women in Youth Ministry podcast hosted by me, your CEO, Heather Lee Campbell. Women in Youth Ministry is an organization that seeks to elevate the voices of women in a male-saturated field. Go to womeninyouthministry.com to read our blog, follow us on social media, join our online community, purchase our merch, or support our Patreon. Now, here is Heather and this week's guest. Hello, everybody, and welcome back to this week's episode of the Women in Youth Ministry podcast. My name is Heather, and I am the CEO of Women in Youth Ministry, and I am so excited for this week's guest. We are welcoming back Jess Berryhill. Jess, say hello to everybody.
Hi, friends. How are we? Oh, man.
Yeah.
It's finally fall.
It is finally fall. It's sweater weather.
Yes.
I'm so pumped. And flannel, you got your flannel on?
Oh, I wear this like 365, but whatever.
That's so fair. It's so fair. Jess serves as the student and disability minister at Mount Pleasant Church in Terre Haute, Indiana, not too far away from where I'm at, where she walks alongside teenagers and individuals with disabilities. She founded Grace Unlimited Disability Ministry in 2015, which now serves over 100 individuals each week through holistic programming that includes a dating and relationships class, sounds like I need that, a mental health group, and several weekly gatherings. After hearing young adults with disabilities express a desire for greater independence, Jess launched Terre Haute Friendship House in 2019, an affordable housing model where college students and young adults with disabilities live together in community. The Friendship House serves as a launchpad toward independent living. Jess is the executive director and lives on site as the house mom with her dog, Cooper. What kind of dog is Cooper?
Cooper is a pit lab.
Ooh.
So, yeah, he's getting old now. So it's kind of sad, it's a different vibe, but it's good.
I feel that. Awesome. I have my 16-year-old cat in here with me, and she's my whole world, but she's a little old lady.
Yeah. We got old man vibes, so.
I love it. I love old man vibes. All right. So, Jess, you may or may not know this about me. I love a good unhinged icebreaker.
Okay, I'm ready.
Ooh, and my list has grown. We're up to 48. Would you like to choose a number between 1 and 48?
Let's do 40.
40.
Oh, no.
I laugh every time because I think part of it's like, wow, I'm a genius for having such a great icebreakers list. And part of me is like, I love watching people react to just the question in and of itself. So are you ready?
Yeah, I'm ready.
Jess, which section of the cha-cha slide resonates with you the most?
I'm a big fan of call and repeat. So I often, unfortunately, use this as the everyone clap your hands. Sometimes we just use that as a callback and, just a little, can we pause, friends? So that's my favorite. It's because I have no moves and I can clap fast. You can't really clap in rhythm, but you can clap fast. So I have no rhythm, nothing like that. So
no rhythm, but we're still clapping.
Clapping.
I love it.
Yeah.
When I saw this posted on TikTok a few months ago, someone said the part that resonates with me the most is go to work. And I was like, ooh, nice. that hurts, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. I think the part that resonates with me the most is freeze. Everybody clap your hands. Yeah,
it's like the best part. Honestly.
It's like we're reviving this with some energy. We're pausing.
Yeah.
We're pausing what we've been doing. And we're just doing it. We're going for it. I like that.
It's a vibe.
It's like a mid-song Sabbath.
Yeah. Like a little pause. Yeah. Definitely a pause. I like it.
I just spiritualized the cha-cha slide.
It's a good time.
Well, you've been on the podcast before, and but we want to take a chance. This season, I'm interviewing every person who is behind the scenes of Women in Youth Ministry, our board, our moderators, our conference team, the whole banana. And you have been on the podcast before, but you just joined our moderator team on Facebook, which is exciting. So we want to give people the chance to get to know you deeper. Tell us a little bit about your faith story, what's shaped your journey, and What led you into ministry?
Yeah, so it's a little windy, as they typically are. My parents grew up Southern Baptist, and so my dad was raised Southern Baptist, and my mom was raised Catholic. So kind of when those two worlds converged, well, they didn't converge. They just didn't. We just didn't go to church. And so, I mean, I knew like extended family went to church and like I saw church in practice a little bit, but it was really pretty pretty non-existent, honestly, growing
Mhm.
up. So um when I we moved in my high school, sophomore year of high school, and moved to a smaller community outside of Indy. Um, I just felt like this was something I wanted to do. And so I had a friend on my basketball team who went to church, and I was like, "Hey, can I come with you?" And so I did. I went to a smaller Methodist congregation. They had a small youth group at the time, and that's kind of how I got into church. Like, it was my first kind of foray, I guess,
Mm.
into the church world. And you know, I don't know if there was any rhyme or reason why. It was just convenient. Methodism was convenient, but I think I quickly learned that I appreciated the social justice piece of the Methodist Church. So that was good. Um, I think college is always a little bit of a reckoning.
Hmm.
Um, and so I think that was not any different for me. I went to Anderson University up in Anderson, Indiana, and that was Church of God. So that was different. Kind of church hopped a little bit there. But then I went to work at a Jewish camp, a Jewish summer camp in Maine. And I really kind of really started to love like the Hebrew roots of the Christian faith. Like that
Mm.
was so intriguing to me. But I also met a friend who was Mormon. Oh my gosh. I don't know. Do I want to share? I'll share it. So when that was really intriguing to me because I thought, okay, like there's all these rules that you have to follow, and I'm really good at following rules. And so I became Mormon for a hot bit, real brief stint, but long enough. Uh, and that was interesting. I mean, it was definitely sort of rules based. And
Hmm.
so that was yeah, that was a time. And then I realized they wore dresses every week, and I was like, oh, I don't know if I can hit that one. That is not my vibe at all.
I'm a
And
girly and I wouldn't want to be told to wear dresses every week.
no,
Yeah.
yeah. So um I think I was just looking for a God that I could prove my worth to.
Mm.
Um and so uh, I guess some people rebel in other ways, but I guess that was I don't know if we want to call it rebellion or reckoning or whatever it was. Um, and then when I realized that it really wasn't the vibe, um, I started going to a small house church with some of my professors and really kind of geeked out on the intellectual side of faith, but also the application side of faith. So, um, then I moved to Terre Haute and didn't really know I didn't go to church for a minute. Um, but I felt like there was no community and all I knew how to like church was my community. And so um I don't know. I think that's what drew me back. And not
Mm.
that I had ever really left, but like I definitely hit pause for a minute. And so that's what drew me back was I needed some community.
Hmm.
And so that's when I started working serving in the youth group and the rest is history after that. But
Amazing.
yeah, yeah.
My dad was Catholic and my mom was Southern Baptist. And when I say they were, like, both of them had experienced like church hurt as teens, where my dad, when his parents got divorced, his mother was excommunicated from the Catholic Church. And so that created church hurt for him. For my mom, her parents got divorced and her dad found church. And so that was really weird for her. She was like, my dad was kind of hard on me as a kid and now he's
Mm,
religious. Like, make it make sense.
yeah.
And so that gave them, the opportunity they didn't raise me in faith, but they were open-handed. They saw the benefits of it, just didn't want it for themselves. I did not do a stint as a Mormon, but I did do a stint as a hardcore Calvinist,
Nice.
like a Southern Baptist Calvinist, which is like
Cool.
a little subset. Well,
Yeah.
it's a little brand, not like a cool
Yeah.
Presbyterian Calvinist. They're kind of cool. Like a
Yeah.
Southern Baptist Calvinist, that's hardcore.
Yeah.
So
That's fair. That's
yeah.
fair. Yeah. So yeah, I don't know, but I'm grateful for that space to just be able to
Mhm.
explore. And I think
Yeah.
it helped me kind of know what I didn't want in my faith. So
Yeah, no, it was really important for me. I'd honestly developed my theology for eternity. And so, yeah, I'm always grateful. I think I always try not to look back on religious experiences I've had with like sadness or um, like I'm not quick to call everything traumatic. I was really well loved in my more fundamentalist contexts. You know, so I try to hold everything for what it is, and yeah.
yeah.
So you have been at this church now for like over 10 years or about 10 years,
Uh,
right?
I think we're actually 15.
15 years. That's
Yeah.
amazing.
Yeah. So
So tell us, because your passion is disability, inclusion, community living, like the whole mamma jamma. How did the and we did do a podcast episode
yeah.
about this before, but we were sharing with me before we got started that your views have changed, and that makes sense. Like that was probably at least 2, maybe 3 years ago that we interviewed you last, and so it makes sense that things have
Yeah.
changed. Tell us a little bit about like how this passion and this particular ministry was formed.
Yeah. I was just through one student in our student ministry
Hmm.
who came in right at the same time that I came in, and trying to figure out how to best minister to him. And I think I'm gonna be honest, we didn't do a great job at the beginning because I didn't know what I was doing, period. Like this was not my first choice of career. Um and so I didn't really know what I was doing, but I also just didn't have a lot of experience with people with disabilities. And so just trying to figure out like how do we do this and what makes sense. And so we kind of limped along for the first 2 to 3 years, maybe even four, before we kind of landed on, as he shifted to high school, the gap just kind of got a little bit bigger. And I
Yeah.
thought, I think there needs to be, like, it can be a both and kind of situation. Like, he can still come to youth group and be a part of, our disability ministry. And so, um, yeah, so that's kind of where we landed. And so through this one kid, his name's Nick, he kind of changed the face of our ministry. And ever since then, it's been kind of an amazing place to live in between like teenagers and individuals with disabilities. And we get to kind of live at that intersection, and it's pretty incredible, if I'm being honest. And to watch those two groups merge together and to like have each of them serve and love each other, like it's just been maybe one of my favorite things ever.
Yeah,
So
yeah. I mean, I totally resonate with like not doing things well. And a lot of times we're just not resourced well to do our jobs. We get into church work because like, we love our church or we love God. And so we just start like a lot of people start off in ministry not intending to be career youth ministers, you know,
yeah,
and the calling develops over time. And so I appreciate your humility in saying, hey, I didn't get everything correct at first, but it was the passion for one kid that changed the trajectory of my vocational calling, which really does seem to be living in this intersection of disability inclusion and youth ministry. Tell us about the Friendship House and what that looks like.
yeah. So I think one of the things that we realized pretty quickly once we kind of got into the weeds of disability ministry was that, our friends have dreams, they
Mhm.
have hopes, and they have big plans. And sometimes they just don't have the opportunity to do those things. And
Mm.
so I remember having a conversation with one of our parents, and she was sharing, how her daughter never had tried out for all the community theater plays, but had never really been cast. She had always been kind of this understudy.
Mm.
And I remember thinking, well, that's stupid. Like, we could do a play. And so we did. And like, I think that was the first moment that we like dreamed with a family. And that was just, it's an incredible space to live in.
Yeah.
To say like, oh, the church can fill that gap. And so when you stand in prayer circles and you sit at tables and you eat dinner with folks and they share and they say, hey, like, my goal is to live, I want to have my own house. Like, I want to live independently. Like, I think you can only sit there so long and think, okay, like, am I the vehicle for this? Like, and I think that's where we were at. And so that's kind of how Friendship House got started, is just organic conversations and hearing the hopes and dreams of our friends. And um, yeah, so since we've talked last, we established a house in a rental house, and then they
Mm.
decided to sell it, which was such a time. But
Yeah.
now we're in an incredible house in an incredible neighborhood, and so we were able to buy a house. And so it's been just a really cool journey and a really cool to watch how God's hand has moved in all that. So yeah.
Mm. What do you like want youth workers to know about including individuals with disability in their context?
Yeah, I think I think we try to make it really um early on. I know that my goal, I was like, what programs can we run? Like what, and not that that's not a bad thing. I don't think, I think it's an okay thing at first, especially. But I think what I've learned is like, I've been wrestling with this idea of belonging, of what does it look like for um people who may not naturally like see each other, to
Mm.
like find belonging. So this kind of unexpected belonging. And I think unexpected belonging happens when we can realize that ministry happens everywhere. And so I think we early on we did respite and we did some of that. But now I'm thinking like, maybe respite happens in a Mexican restaurant
Mm.
where parents still get a break, but like that feels more like friends than it does. Not that church stuff is not good. It is good, but like, does that make sense? It's a
Mhm.
little more organic and a little more, and so I would say like, maybe it's not that deep. Maybe it's
Mm.
really just not that deep. Maybe it's an invitation to someone's house. Maybe it's an invitation to dinner, to the movies. Like, our friends just don't get those opportunities. And
Mm.
so how can we lean into just the ordinary moments and
Mm.
create opportunities for them to just live that out?
Mm.
So yeah.
Interesting. I mean, that feels like challenging because I feel like the way that I like approach disability ministry is like, okay, we'll have them fill out this form and do some intake and have some conversations. And it almost feels like very much like school. And I think it's important to get all that information in
Yeah,
order to serve them
for sure.
well. But then the question is like, okay, so then what?
Yeah.
So you've done all the work, but how are you actually including people?
Yeah.
Yeah.
In like real life. Like,
Hmm.
not that church isn't real life, but like, man, like, let's not be limited by that box.
Hmm.
Like, our friends have so many dreams and so many hopes and want to be a part of normal things. And there's a mom in our ministry, and she has reminded me often. She says, Gabe has a life, like, not just like, he has a schedule that's busy and a life that is full because of what you do. And
Hmm.
so um that's that's the reminder of like, this is not just programming. Like, this goes beyond programming. This is what it looks like to kind of live out that full and abundant life that Jesus promises each one of us.
Hmm.
So
It's good.
yeah. So
So recently, we extended an invitation for you to come join our moderators
mm,
team, and um, really the heart for us expanding our moderators team is our group has grown so much, and we were operating with the same number of moderators as we had always been operating, and somebody in our group came to me and said, Heather, I think we're missing some things. I think we're missing some perspectives, and some people. And I think it's really important that we have a bigger team to handle the influx of requests and posts and things that happen, but also that we expand our team to be fully inclusive of the kingdom of God that we represent. And so our board prayed about it and invited a bunch of new people onto the team, and you're one of them. Tell
Yeah.
us about why you chose to accept the invitation to be a part of Women in Youth Ministry in a greater way, and maybe a little bit about what this community serves as or for you, or yeah, what about it you care about or like?
Yeah. So I feel like I've kind of been a lurker. I haven't really, I know that sounds so bad, but
No,
like
it's truth, right?
it
Love
is.
lurking.
So yeah. And I think, I'm always looking for spaces that um I don't want to say this and offend people, but spaces that don't amplify the bro mentality of youth ministry. And
Yeah, no
those
one's
spaces,
offended listening to this. If they're
okay,
offended, they're on the wrong podcast.
that's what I was like, well, it is what it is.
I've
Um,
said 10 times more expensive,
yeah,
offensive
yeah.
things.
I don't know. And like those spaces are hard to find,
Mhm.
and hard to be a part of. Um, and recently I had a space that was kind of that, and then it kind of just went away. And that was just like, I felt that gap. Like, um, and I've pursued like those arenas outside of youth ministry, right? Like I've had some really amazing fellowship opportunities and cohorts and outside of, the realm of youth ministry, but um sometimes those spaces feel also kind of tricky to be in because like just church is a different kind of system.
Mhm.
Hopefully that's the goal. And it just, I don't know. Sometimes those spaces are great. But I'm always like, man, you just want to be with someone who, amplifies Jesus. And so I feel like this space kind of does that. And so when you extend it, I was like, oh yeah, that tracks. So, it's helped me kind of, be a little more intentional, not be such a lurker. So I don't know. Yeah.
I love it. I love lurking. I think it's fun. I am not a certified lurker though. Like when I'm in a space for the most
Yeah.
part.
That's fair. That's fair.
You know, for better or for worse. Yeah.
Yeah.
So the question that we always ask at the end of every podcast is we're the Women in Youth Ministry podcast. We have all genders listening, but we want to take a moment to speak directly to women. What is something that you would like for women to hear today?
Um, I would say, let me think about that one. Well, you've asked me this before, and I can't remember what I said then, but um, I would say that right now, and it's not really necessarily geared towards women, but right now I feel like as a community and maybe as women, that we have got to find some common ground to live in, kind of find some
Mm-hmm.
common space to live in. I think that's the tension where my heart feels, kind of that pull on my heart right now is that uh, I just want to be with people. I don't know. After all the things that have happened in the last probably 9 months, I just want to be with people. And I want to, because when I'm with people and I hear their stories, that makes me better. And so I would encourage you to have conversations with people you don't know. So after the election, one of the things that I kind of set out to do, and I've kind of fumbled. So if you want to have a conversation with me, please reach out. Is I wanted to have 100 conversations in the next year
Mm.
with people I didn't know and people who were in my community, but also maybe beyond, just so that I would be a better leader. And so that I would have tons of different perspectives and stories that would impact my heart and not help me. I don't know, help me not to be hard or like frustrated or disillusioned with the world. So I don't know. That was a long rambling answer to like
No, no,
get
I
to
loved
like
it.
get
I mean,
to
it
the
makes
point.
sense. We need to get to know each other. We need each other's stories.
Yeah.
I've shifted on things in my life, not because of what I saw on social media or what I saw on the news. Like I shifted because I got to learn people and humanize uh, things that previously I had no humanization to. And that has allowed me to be a better pastor, a better leader, a better friend, sister, partner, whatever. So it makes sense. And I think that's
Yeah.
an excellent challenge for people too.
Yeah. So
Hmm.
I'm working on it, chipping away.
Chipping away. Can we count this? Does this count as 100?
I think it should.
I think let's count as 100.
Can I count it on my schedule? Yeah. Okay.
Yeah,
We'll
yeah.
count
I'm,
it.
I'm gonna let you count it. I'm gonna let you count it.
Okay. All right.
Well, Jess, thank you so much for being on. On the show notes, we're going to put where people can find you and connect with
Okay.
you and follow your
Cool.
ministry. But I very much appreciate all that you're doing and your voice. And I'm also very sad. We were supposed to be at the same conference together last week, and I was real
No,
bummed when you didn't go.
I know. It's been a time, y'all.
Yeah,
It's been a rough few weeks. So
felt. Yeah. Well, thank you everybody for listening, and we will see you all again very soon. If you enjoyed that podcast, don't forget to rate us 5 stars. You can follow us on Meta, Twitter, and TikTok at Women in YM. If you're a woman, we'd love to have you as part of our Facebook community. Go to womeninyouthministry.com to learn more. Thank you so much for listening to this week's episode of the Women in Youth Ministry podcast.